it's the last week of the month. And if you know me, you know one thing happens at the end of the month. And that is the Halo Infinite weekly blog
Oh yeah.
time. I tell you, when I heard that this month's blog was going to be an audio-based blog, I wasn't very excited about it. But upon actually listening and reading, it was actually really, really good.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So obviously I'm no super audio tech nerd, so I'm not gonna use any of the big words because I don't know what they mean. Let's be real. So to kind of break it down, they kind of talked about they want to change direction from Halo 4 and 5 and go to a bit more kind of legacy, traditional soundscape, kind of drawing inspiration from the original trilogy. And so they obviously, if you heard the soundtracks they released last summer, you'd know that. But they did bring a couple interesting facts up front. Most notably, the one for me, it was that Infinite will be the first Halo title to support virtual surround sound tech by Dolby Atmos, Windows Sonic, and DTS Headphone X, which actually allows standard stereo headsets to take advantage of surround sound features. So it's actually really cool. And they something I know maybe you guys aren't a huge FPS players as me, but I'm sure there's people who are out there who are listening who are. They say they kind of went into detail about a new technology they kind of developed with the engine, with sound, and that they process it frame by frame. Which, yeah, and I was a bit confused by what they meant by processing sound frame by frame at first. But basically, the way they described it is they present sound to you in level of threat. So if a shot is aimed at you, it's more prevalent within that sound space than something that's a bit further away and not really as immediate danger to you. I thought that was really cool how they did that, and it was just really interesting. And there's some other stuff as well. And the iconic multiplayer voice announcer Jeff Steitzer, he's returning. So you want to hear those double kills, those triple kills, as you're stacking up those headshots, he'll be back. And there was also I know a bunch of people posted something in our Discord. People were kind of talking about two games. What was it? Starfield and Halo Infinite might be delayed to 2022. I don't know if we want to get into that later, but there was another leak from some of the mocap.
We can definitely get into that. Definitely.
Yeah, there were some leaks from the mocap actors for Infinite this week during an interview.
Okay.
Suggesting that the game's actually set to release in November this year.
Oh man, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, and that should be the 20th anniversary of Halo. So that is very coincidental timing.
That is pretty nice.
Yeah, but for anyone who wants to actually look at some of those things, I know the Halo YouTube channel uploaded some videos. They did a thing where they took sounds of them destroying a piano and put that into the game. And they literally were they with a shovel like smashing it and using dry ice and everything. It was super interesting to kind of hear them compile all these sounds together and put it into the game. It's crazy.
Wow.
I think that's pretty awesome because people just, until you play a game that has where it makes sound like really important. Like my good example for this is like Dead by Daylight, especially when you play as the killer. Like if you don't wear a headset as the killer in Dead by Daylight, you're like gimping yourself so hard because a lot of the time you don't catch a survivor by just looking at them. You get it because you hear them to the right of you because they're sneaking past and you hear them kind of muffled or whatever. Like it makes a huge difference. So I'm pretty excited to hear about that.
Yeah, I definitely feel like sound is something very kind of, I guess, overshadowed or overlooked in games. I'm hearing them kind of go in depth about this because I've never really cared about game audio that much. But then hearing them talk about this and this level of depth and kind of the level of passion and technology they're putting into this, it's actually really fascinating.
That's gonna be really cool, like for PvP. I think I could see a huge difference in PvP for that.
Oh, definitely, man.
So what else? What else did you encounter this week? You know, you got some Halo. You said something about the Starfield and the
Yeah.
for that.
So I can't remember who posted it exactly, but there was a rumor suggesting that development of Starfield and Halo Infinite could actually be in a bit of trouble.
What?
Yeah. Yeah, they were saying that, hey, look, these games could be delayed till next year. Which,
look, the only thing I'm mad about is that, was it Halo 5? Halo 5 took up the resources for Halo Wars 3. I think that's what that was said, right? Because
Master Chief Collection, yeah.
Oh, Master Chief Collection. Okay.
Master Chief Collection, yeah.
Bro, I just finished Halo Wars this week. Halo Wars 2.
Okay.
Yes.
That is some of the best animations I've seen. I mean, movie-wise. Right?
Oh.
I really enjoyed... Like, because, you know, when you do the whole thing with the... building a base and everything. I mean, that has its thing, and there's different scenarios. Capture the flag. You don't have a base, but they give you everything, and then you have to survive, or you gotta take down this person, or you gotta jump into a scarab and then use the scarab to take down the enemy with all these other troops next to you. So there's a lot of different strategies and scenarios in the story mode, right? Because it's tied to the story. And then when you get into the animations or the cutscenes, I'm thinking like, yo.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my gosh. Like, really? I've been smiling the whole way through on these cutscenes. Trust me. So the fact that happened, man. Anyways, Dio, what about you? What have you been? What has been your bread and butter this week on the gaming?
I mean, for the most part, it's the ID, but I don't know if we want to get into that yet. But I mean, I think there's some pretty interesting, like, theories being floated out there, like, the whole supposedly maybe Ubisoft coming to Game Pass. I mean, that's pretty cool. You guys want to get into that a little bit?
Oh yeah, sure.
I mean, you're more. I think you're more the Ubisoft guru, though.
Please, nah, man. I play the games. I play the games, man. Man, you cutting into my list. So let me cross this one out. The only thing that's really big outside of the potential Ubisoft coming to Xbox is that the Assassin's Creed narrative director leaves Ubisoft. Now I deleted his article here, but I think I have it within the descriptions. I'll have to check and see. If you check the descriptions, I think there's a reference link to it. There isn't a reason why he left. I guess maybe his contract or maybe his term was over. But he's the narrative director. I'm assuming that he's the guy that oversees everybody's story. Now, Assassin's Creed, when it first started, there was only one story, Altair.
Yeah.
And there was Altair. There was the Grandmaster Assassin, right? And then how everybody felt about Altair and what he had to do, because it was, Altair was kind of cocky, you know what I'm saying? So nobody liked him, so he had to work his way into becoming the assassin's, the person that they needed him to be. Yeah. Now, since then, I think up until Valhalla, like, the stories on the map is ridiculous. They're like almost every person has a story or a reason to be there. That's a lot of narrative. That's a lot of lore for an Assassin's Creed game. I mean, not saying that they shouldn't have it. I'm just saying like my daughter or my granddaughter has a purpose. She's here. And you look at her and like, oh, that's my young one. But yeah, but there's lore behind her, and her, and her, and her, and her. Like, you can talk to people and you have these experiences. So for a person like that, to me, I'm thinking he's kind of in charge of the lore and the interactions that you as a player would experience, when they talk to you, what they say, how they say it, how it impact your immersion moving forward towards other arcing stories, you know what I'm saying, outside the main story. For instance, Odyssey, you walk up on somebody, you talk to them, and they tell you, oh, that person's over there, and we need to do revenge or whatever. So you go to this island, from your boat to an island, and there's like a secret cult from this one person. There's a secret cult over there. You kill the secret cult, and then that secret cult has a tie to somebody else. That takes you way outside of your main story. You know what I'm saying? So there's like, that's hefty. So I can only imagine what this guy, where this guy is gonna go, and how it's gonna impact future Assassin's Creed games. But I salute the guy. I don't have his name, unfortunately, but hopefully I put it within the description. I can't see it. But that's the major thing this week with Assassin's Creed and Ubisoft, was that guy left. Outside of that, I haven't heard anything major about the Ubisoft partnership with Microsoft on Game Pass. Could it happen? I think Ubisoft would be on the same level with Square Enix, and how Square Enix is partnershiping with Xbox. Like they're not like putting, well, Square Enix put all their Final Fantasy games in, but I can see them putting like all Assassin's Creed, but you're not gonna see like Prince of Persia or like those type of joints. So they're gonna try. I think they're trying to milk it, because I think they have like they're still working on a remake of Sands of Time. No, well, they're doing a remake of one of the games. I don't know which one it is, but definitely all the Assassin's Creed, because those were marketed through Xbox. You know what I'm saying? Like almost every Assassin's Creed was like
this is it. I think look at Ubisoft Microsoft relationship over the years. They've always been together, and look at, I guess most recently, the Assassin's Creed Valhalla, all the promotion has always been alongside Xbox.
Yeah.
So, with that close relationship, could UB Plus come to Game Pass? Maybe. But if not, then at least I think, we'll at least see more Ubisoft games on the platform.
I think, if I can think about it, I think that they would do a special to where games are like a certain percentage off, and it'll be on Game Pass for a time, like a timed Game Pass release. But then everything's gonna go back to the Ubisoft Plus, or whatever it's called, the app that's on the Xbox, right?
Yeah.
To be purchasable, because they have to be paying Xbox to have that app up and running. I don't know. I'm just saying, like.
Well, I guess without the numbers and how many people use UB Plus, it's hard to say. But I imagine it's probably nowhere near as much as Game Pass.
Bro. Even if you may not be playing Breakpoint, but at some point in time you're playing The Division 2. And whenever you do specific things, you get rewards, and you're gonna go back to the UB Plus regardless. You know what I'm saying, to get those rewards and find out what other rewards you can acquire within the game that you purchase. So while it's not delivering the games in an Xbox, it is delivering the experience. Now the UB Plus technically is a PC thing. I think it's more PC than console. So the app, you buy the game on Microsoft Store, and then the app works as a way of getting you in the Ubisoft community with other people who are playing the game, who's getting the most points, who's in the leadership boards, what other games are out there that you can get rewards from, stuff like that. If they can tie that to Game Pass, like a deep partnership, then that would be awesome. That would be real nice. So, but yeah, that's the thing. But when it comes to the idea Xbox deal, what's your take?
Would if Ubisoft would actually
no just the idea Xbox, that's one of the things that came across this week, and I know it was a major thing for Xbox, because I have to say first and foremost that this was a partnership between Twitch and Xbox. This, even though it's an ID at Xbox, it was done with Twitch, and I don't know who did what. What did Twitch provide and what Xbox provide? I think, mostly the ID games, the indie games. But what was it, just a platform, or was it the people, whatever the case may be? But like, what was your overall, perspective of ID at Xbox? How did you feel about it?
So I think overall it was definitely a good showing, because it was a ton of games. So that was awesome. I just think that them choosing Twitch for whatever reason, if they built something off of this, which would be awesome for the Xbox community at large, it was just kind of confusing, I would imagine, for most people, because they sold a Nintendo Direct, they sold a Sony, version of it, and a Square Enix, like back to back, all on YouTube, and then for this to just be on Twitch, I think caught a lot of people off surprise. So they're looking all over YouTube for it when it's really over there. They could still watch it on YouTube, right, off of someone who's streaming it.
Right.
But I think that was a little confusing. But overall, it wasn't too bad. I kind of wish that they did it the other way. But overall, it was good. I think the presentation. The only thing I would say, because this is one of my big complaints, right, was Nintendo and Sony, was that I kind of feel like they kind of focused a little too much on certain games that they didn't really need to. Like, some of them were really drawn out, like 10, 15 minutes long.
Yeah.
And that was kind of dry, like, for some of these games. I don't want to call it the games themselves, too much, but I don't think there was really too much of a reason to, like, focus on some of them.
Gotcha. So what game stood out to you the most?
When it came to them, like, actually going into the detail with the devs, or like, just in general?
In general.
All right. So like, if I had like how we were saying, like, we have like a top 10, right? Like, I would say number 10 was like Blaster Master Zero for me, because it's an old school game.
I know. I'm seeing it.
And like, I didn't expect that to come to Xbox. Like, to me, like, in my head, that's Nintendo.
Yeah.
I was like, no way.
Yeah.
Blaster Master.
Yeah.
And it looked cool. It looked kind of fun. And that's why that's number 10. I think there were probably other games that were probably better, but like, for me, it's like that nostalgia thing,
It kind of reminded me of Metroid. A little bit of
Oh,
Metroid.
Yeah, for sure. That's the same era right there, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool.
Number 9 for me was 12 Minutes.
Okay.
I know a lot of people are really super hyped for it, like that's their number 1. But for me, it definitely looks cool, but it's too narrative driven for me. If I want to watch a movie, I'll watch a movie. But it's kind of cool. It's like a choose your own adventure. I remember those like books when you were a kid.
Yeah. Where
you just like go to this page, go to that page. That's what it looks like to me, like a choose your own adventure, but in video game format. I don't know if you guys were looking at 12 Minutes, and it's been announced like about 3 years ago, back in E3 or something.
Yeah, really? Wow. I didn't pay attention to that at that time.
Yeah. Are you guys hyped for that at all?
Oh yeah. Well, it's on my what is this list.
Okay.
Mainly because it's primarily top down, and I think when they got into discussion on why they did it, I can respect it. It's one of those type of games that you have to die multiple times to really understand what happened, and then come with a a good conclusion once you figure everything out. So, but yeah, it's on my list. It's not on my top 10, but it's on top 9, but it's there. It's there. If I could, it'll be number 10 for me if I were to move it up. Yeah. What about you, Don?
You want me to go like the whole list, or just kind of choose?
No, what did you think about 12 Minutes? Like, 12
minutes in particular.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I liked it, man. I think it was cool to actually see the game again. It's been a while.
Yeah.
I'm so really curious about it, but like Monica was saying, it's one of those games where you gotta die a lot and kind of learn.
What?
I don't know. Maybe.
What, you don't like Don, D? You don't like Don?
No, I don't like Diane.
You don't like Diane? You keep your KD.
I want to check it out for sure. I think maybe some people will be put off by the whole mobile death thing. I don't know,
bro.
But no, I do think it's cool. Yeah, man, I really do.
Oh yeah. What else you got, Dio?
Number 8 for me was Rust Console Edition. I mean, I know Rust from PC days, so and it's a super trolly game.
Oh, really?
Definitely.
I kind of wish it was one of those games that they talked more detail with the devs, because I mean the fact that they named it Console Edition, I mean, makes it pretty obvious that we're not going to play with PC players.
Okay.
But that also made me wonder, like, is this also coming on the PS5, on the PS4, and on the Switch? And if it does, are we going to have cross-play with them? That's what I was curious about. And it's coming out in May. So, I mean, that's around the corner. So, I mean...
Yes, that's super close.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is close.
One I know for sure that you would be into for number 7 was Astria Ascending. From like those makers of Final Fantasy games. Okay. It looks gorgeous. I love the art style. Yeah. It is so beautiful.
Yeah.
I'm pretty confident it's gonna have a good story. I mean, I like that it's not the typical, 3D game, and it's more focused on like the hand-drawn style. It just looks so smooth. It's something different that we need, I think, to like really break that barrier where everyone's kind of falling the same direction.
Gotcha.
Number 6, Nobody Saves the World.
Yeah.
I had to. Like, I mean, we were talking about Ren and Stimpy earlier, right? Like, it has like that art style of like Ren and Stimpy, of like, it just looks like a little off-putting but cute at the same time. And that's what they were going for. Like, that was one of the few games that they had a long interview with the devs that really needed it, and it was really cool that they did that. I'm actually really excited about that. I was surprised that it's not a roguelike, because it looks like Binding of Isaac to me to an extent. I don't know if you guys played Binding of Isaac.
Okay.
No, but I know the game.
Yeah. The number 5 for me was Narita Boy, which the name doesn't match it. I don't know if you guys remember that one. It was like a 2D side-scroller slasher type of game. Yeah. That looks like it's stuck in like a retro, like 80s, but in the future. Yeah. I liked it. It looks so cool, and like the music of it, I was like, oh, this is me. I think this is gonna replace Dead Cells for me, depending on how they handle it. I love Dead Cells, but this game, man, the art style, and it just got me.
Yeah, get me very remind me very much of like Far Cry Dragon.
Okay.
Cool. Yeah. The art style.
Okay. Yeah.
I really liked that, man. It was like that was on my list as well, and I think.
Okay. Yeah, that's coming out like in like a few days, no? Right? Like I think like in the 30th.
I think so. I don't double check. Yeah, but it was one of those games that really stood out to me. I was like, this actually looks really cool, and visually, just absolutely stunning.
For me, it's like one of those. It's one of those games that I have to like download and play. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like for you, dude, it's kind of like, oh yeah, this is it. You know what I'm saying? Because you still have those tendencies, right? The itch. Yeah. That's like it's there. It hits in the right places. You know, for me, it's kind of like, man, it's been a long time since I dealt with that specific type of platforming type of game. You know, but I'm definitely interested for sure. Okay. What's your 4?
Number 4 is Death's Door. That was the one with the crows.
Yes.
Calm down. Yeah. It looked cool. It looks kind of like Hades or Bastion. It's not a roguelike also, which I was surprised about. Like another game that looked like it would have been a roguelike but wasn't. But it sounds like it's still going to have enough to do that even when you beat it, at least how the devs... Another game that actually had a good long time to talk with the devs. Amazing looking game. I mean, considering it was only 2 devs that worked on the game.
Oh wow!
With a separate art team, you know. But I mean, they did all the work for programming and the music and everything.
Yeah.
Looks cool. It looks like it's gonna be. I think it's gonna have serious, undertones, but like with that, the charming cartoon aesthetic.
Yeah.
I don't know how you guys felt about looking at that one.
When I looked at it, dude, I was like, at first I was like, there's a crow with a sword on his back. and when it's walking, it's like is either hopping or is waddling. So it's like I'm like, how is this gonna play? You know? And so it was in the animation. They was doing the cut scene. And so you're watching him go through all this stuff, and then just walking around, and he reaches to the desk, and the person looks at him, and then, well, no, the first part is gonna be an interesting game. He goes through the metal detector. And the metal detector goes off, and the guy's like, "Just go." I was like, okay, so he's an unknown. The person's a known person. I don't know if it's a guy or girl, but as far as the bird, it is what it is at this point. So it reaches to the desk. The person gives it a bounty, and I was like, oh, okay, here's one of them type of joints. And then you get the bounty, and then you go through the door, and then you go through an onslaught of stuff. I was like, that could be interesting. And the movement looks pretty fluid. Yeah, looks pretty nice. So definitely. What about you, Don?
Yeah, it's a bit of a strange one. Like, I've not seen anything like that really. But, it was, but it's just kind of the running theme for that whole show for me. There was a lot of games I'm like, this is so out of my wheelhouse.
Okay.
But I'm curious about like basically all these games, man. I really want to kind of, especially when they're coming to Game Pass, not all of them obviously, but I really want to get my hands on and just kind of just have a look and just. I think you look at some of these games on here, they look cool, but I'm very curious to see how they play and just, how goofy they can be.
Yeah. Gotcha. Number 3.
So number 3 for me was Chivalry 2. They didn't have like a long.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh. They didn't have a long dev thing into it or whatever, but I know what Chivalry 1 is on the PC. So I mean, when I saw that part 2 was coming to Xbox, I was like, no way. They're like, these are gonna be some huge epic battles, dude. Like, especially if enough people on the Xbox get into it.
Yeah.
It's gonna make like these siege attempts like in ESO look tiny. Well, it's gonna be amazing.
I can see them having tournaments and stuff too. That's gonna be
interesting. Oh yeah, easily.
Okay. Number 2.
Okay, so number 2, this was more of like something that I've been missing in my heart for a long time because I grew up with Turok and the N64.
Oh, tell me it's not what I think it is.
It's second extinction. No! Yeah. I mean, it looks cool. Like, I've been wanting a good dinosaur game. I mean, I haven't had a cool one since like Turok in the 64 and like Dino Crisis on the PlayStation 1. I mean, it's kind of like a hole in the market right now. It's like, oh, finally,
the dinosaur market.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I love dinosaurs.
This Jurassic Park.
That's not the same.
The builder, the builder. Yeah, kind of like cities, but for Jurassic Park.
Yeah, but I don't get to fight him and kill him. I mean, that's cool. I mean, that's cool for people who want to, play like the little Sims and stuff like that. But I want something where dinosaurs are hunting me down. And because it kind of gave up a vibe like, at least how they were describing it, like the multiplayer aspect of this is going to be pretty rewarded. Like, you're going to need a team to fight some of these bigger dinosaurs that are evolving and getting these kind of powers and stuff. So, I mean, maybe I'm thinking too much into it, but I don't know. It seems like it's going to be way more like it's going to have way more depth than people, give it credit for. And it's coming out soon too. Like next month in April it's supposed to come out.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And it's a shooter, so I mean, Don might actually get onto it. So
he gonna be on there like, come on, Dio, come on, they're holding me back. I'm killing the Velociraptor. It's coming at me. Dio's like, oh, my leg is gone. I can't carry you forever.
If they actually give us like a way to play the dinosaurs too, oh man, then it would have my heart. Man.
You are tripping. You are straight tripping.
But number 1,
was
Craftopia. I don't know if you guys know anything about this, but I was shocked. So
I saw that.
Craftopia?
I saw that. It's like a blend of everything.
Yes, it is. It is.
Yeah, the one thing that got me was the what was it? When they start doing the whole Fortnite, building. I was like, no way.
Oh yeah, like I've been watching this on the PC. I haven't tried on the PC yet, but I've been kind of like following like news about it because I'm waiting for it to get more polished. Like it literally is everything. It's Minecraft. It's an MMO. It's as much as you want to make it into. Like it's Pokemon to an extent. So you could capture animals and stuff. It's crazy. The amount of things you could do in this game is nuts. I'm not saying this is definitely going to be the game I play all the time, but I think the possibilities of it, especially if it's handled correctly, and the fact that it's going to jump on Xbox and not just have PC players on it too, like they're going to go to, have that extra revenue, and hopefully they manage their money right. Oh man, like the possibilities for this game is endless. I'm really excited for it.
Okay. Man, comparing Dio's list of games to mine. Y'all gonna think I'm a crazy person with some of the games I got on my list.
I kind of have an idea. I think I know what yours is gonna look like. We'll see. I mean, I know it's not gonna be all shooters. I know there's a few weird ones that I think you're gonna put in there.
Oh yeah. Oh, we're gonna get to Don in a minute. We'll get to Don in a minute. Okay, what's your number one?
For me or for Don?
For you.
Number one was Craftopia.
Okay. All right. Yep. Gotcha. Yeah.
Yep.
All right, Don.
I don't have mine in like a necessary order.
Yeah, I don't mind. Not mine either.
First one for me, what really stood out was Soup Pot.
Okay.
I don't know what it is. It reminded me of Cooking Mama on the Nintendo DS. And I really loved that game when I was young.
Okay.
So having a game like that now on Xbox, I'm quite excited to get hands on that. I think it's just it looks so relaxing and just fun. It's a little goofy game. So okay, I can get into that. Next one, The Ascent.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. To be honest, like when I saw this game was announced last year, right? Something like that. I was a bit like, wasn't super impressed by it, to be honest. But kind of seeing it again now after playing games like Minecraft Dungeons and some other games, I do feel a bit more kind of appreciative of it. And I do like the art style a lot.
Yeah.
Seeing all those particle effects, it looked really gorgeous. I can't lie.
It looks
so I'm quite excited for that one. Next, Exo Mecha. That game just looks like an absolute
that definitely looks like a Don CJG game.
Oh, definitely.
100%.
The way his graphics looking, I was like, the way they were running and some of the weapons, it looked very Crysis inspired. I love Crysis a lot.
Yeah.
And the grapple hook reminded me of Halo Infinite, and then it was just like, I loved it. It just looked so insane and just I don't even know how to describe it.
Okay.
It just looked chaotic and I loved it. And I was like, I want to play that.
Oh man, dude.
Next one.
You're making people tear up over here, Don. Like Don actually likes something outside of Halo. This is unbelievable.
This is the start of the descent into madness. Airport for aliens ran by dogs.
What? I don't remember that one.
Yep, it looks absolutely absurd. I love it. I love weird games like this, where it's like a whole 3D airport and it's just got flat 2D pictures of like dogs and I guess they give you quests and whatnot. And it wasn't mentioned very deeply. I think it was kind of it's kind of blown past in a montage, but I saw it and I was like, hold up a minute. I was like, hold on, what's this?
Gotcha.
So I look forward to that. Next, Stalker 2.
Okay.
Anticipated game. Very anticipated game. I didn't play the first one, but there's a lot of hype around this, and seeing what we saw, I'm quite curious.
Okay. Yeah, the detail in those gun models, like, were just insane.
Crazy.
Like the wood finish and the scratches, and wow.
Yeah, I'm excited, man. That's a next gen only game as well, right?
Yeah, it is. I mean, it has to. I mean, look how it looks. I mean, it's crazy.
12 minutes, Rust, Narrator Boy, we already mentioned. Some of these games came up on the screen not too long ago. Song of Iron.
Okay.
Yep.
That one, I don't know. It looked very much like a 2D Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Well, not 2D, but side-scrolling Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
Okay.
And it looked really gorgeous, man. I can't lie.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it looked really pretty.
Yeah.
My only thing with that one was that, and I mean, it's only probably the problem with the presentation was that I know it's a 2D side scroller, but you just kept feeling they were just going right the whole time.
Yeah. And
I was just curious that later, would it be more like kind of almost like Metroid or Castlevania where you do have to go left or vertical, like, you know, I'll be surprised. I would be interested to see how that develops and like. I mean, graphically, it looked really, really nice.
Yeah, it looked really pretty, man. So I'm certainly interested in seeing how that goes.
Yeah.
Next one after that, XO1.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. It's just how simplistic this game looked.
Yeah.
Kind of really got me curious because you don't really see a game that looks so minimal,
right?
Very often.
Oh yeah. It was like a gliding sim.
Yeah. It kind of looked like you're a frisbee or something.
Yeah,
it looked a bit weird, but I was really interested in that, especially because I'm quite curious about Flight Simulator itself. You know, it's kind of
we're still waiting.
It's like a basic version of that, right?
You're still waiting. Well, so, I wouldn't say that it is. Because I played it on the Flight Sim on PC, but if it has a vibe of when you play like GTA and then you jump into a plane and you just want to fly, you know what I'm saying? That to me it comes across a little bit like that, where you're gliding and you have these different ways to improve your power and stuff like that to just go faster, so. Just flight and speed and power ups and stuff. It's just pretty cool. Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
Really my comparison might sound weird, but to me it kind of reminded me of Echo the Dolphin back in the Sega Genesis days, because it was really chill too, like where you're just a dolphin swimming in the ocean, but you would get powers also, and same thing, like very beautiful music, very beautiful like aesthetic.
You get me kind of Tetris Effect vibes.
Yeah. I definitely feel that too. I mean, I'm actually, I forgot about that, but I'm definitely going to be playing that for sure. Very chill game.
Two more after that. Void Train.
Yep.
That one was quite near the start of the presentation, but I thought that was kind of really cool. That was a kind of reminds me of a game called Raft. Where you're kind of just on the ocean, but in this case you're on a train and you kind of build your base on top of it. And, you're getting attacked by all these different things, and I thought that was so different and kind of bizarre. I was like, whoa, especially not seeing any game kind of take that. I don't even know how to describe what that environment is. I guess a void,
yeah, that's what it was, the void.
Yeah, it's something so insane looking. I was like, this looks really cool. And the last one, which you're all going to judge me for incredibly, Lawn Mowing Simulator.
Really?
Yeah.
I
thought number one for you was going to be Moonglow Bay. That's what I was thinking, man. Okay.
No, it is more Lawn Simulator. These games have so much depth. It's actually kind of strange. The business side and kind of going to location and doing a good job. I could see myself just trying to cut the lawn, chill out,
Yeah. Nothing wrong with that.
I'm excited for it. I don't know why.
And the thing about it with that one is when they presented it, I was like, wait, is that a car game? Is it going to be like
right? Yeah, it looked a bit go-kart.
Yeah.
These are lawnmowers.
Yeah, because it was all detailed, all zoomed in and everything. It's like, okay.
It looks good.
I was waiting them to say, who was it? Not the Forza team. Turn 10. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, turn 10.
I was waiting for it to like turn 10.
Imagine.
And then I was like, and then it says, let's hit Lawnmower Simulator. I was like, oh, snap.
This is the thing. Like, lawn mowing games are going to look crazy. And... hey, look. Catch me on it, bro. Catch me on it.
So, all right. I know you guys got some stuff. I actually added a 10th to my top 10.
Oh, so
okay.
But I'm gonna start off with the games I was a little bit confused about. Not really confused as far as what like not confused like, oh, that's a confusing game. Oh my gosh. But more like I'm interested, but it's not like an immediate grab. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the first one, Void Train, we already discussed.
Yeah.
The second one was called Mad Streets.
Yes.
Mad
kind of
beat 'em up. Yeah, street beat 'em up game. Kind of like
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, third one was Alchemical Cutie.
It was kind of cool.
Yeah, it was a top down kind of like
it was like a
platformer, like a Final Fantasy old school type or Zelda. Okay. The Zelda and the Tri-Stone? Is that what it was called?
The Triforce.
Triforce, there we go. Hey, don't judge. You know, I mean, I'm talking like old school, but it's top down. It has pretty colors and stuff. Or Pokemon, you know, like a Pokemon look, you know, on it. But I'm not sure. I doubt it's a Pokemon game. But it looked pretty cool. Driftlands. Now, I'm trying to remember. I put down Driftlands because it had like a look. It's a third-person fighting game, but it didn't show much. I mean, some of these that I've written down was kind of like they flew past in the trailers. It was like, you have to really look, right? So, Craftopia was another one. Soup Pot, Enlisted, which is in the preview program as we speak.
It is, yep.
Yeah, it's an MMO World War type of game, like a Call of Duty, but it's an MMO style.
Interesting.
Correct.
And then XO1, of course. Last Oasis. Now, Last Oasis, I missed out on the reveal because, of course, I was working at the time. But but when I got back to it, everybody was like, "Oh, and the flying guy," and everybody's saying, "Yeah, Oasis and stuff." And I was like, "Okay, I'm gonna download the game." The game is basically a stable. What's the name of that game that you wake up on an island with a diamond in your hand?
Ark.
Bro, it's like a stable version of Ark. Real there's no glitching when you it still has that PC port look to it, but there's no glitching and stuff. Like, you remember when the Ark first started? It's kind of like God. It was bad, and then they had
the Ark first came out. I was
yeah. So and then there was the other one with the MMO. It's basically the foundations of Ark, but it was supposed to be for pirating, right? Still in a preview program, and it was bad as far as trying to move around and stuff. This one was pretty good, and like they had like a tutorial section on the side, like 3-step tutorial. Do this, and every time you do it successfully, it would cross off, and it felt like you were doing something it felt like you were doing something outside of like, what do I do? Mm-hmm. And then you have to figure it out. The game is telling you like, gather this, create this. You know what I'm saying? So you're getting into the mechanics of the game early on before they throw you out into the world and you figure it out on your own. So that was pretty cool. I deleted it anyway. It's an Ark type of game, and like I don't want to get killed by somebody who knows more about the Ark type of mechanics than I do. You know what I'm saying? Here I am, I'm building my bed, I go to sleep, and some guy rolls up and stabs me, and then I gotta start all over again. I don't know. I'm just moving on. Death's Door. We talked about that. Yep. That one's pretty cool. Blaster Master 3, definitely. 12 minutes. and then Edge of Eternity.
Ooh, yeah.
That one was pretty cool. I like that one. All right, so here's, if they're out right now, I would definitely grab these ones, okay? Going from...
Okay.
So, and some of these are out there, but a lot of these are coming to Xbox Game Pass. All right. Sable. Sable was... it had like a 3-second shot in a trailer, but I picked it up because the guy was like hovering from one platform to another in a bubble, and it was a cartoon style. So it was the way how it looked was real nice. No. Sorry, is that Sable? Yeah, that is Sable. Celeste.
Yep.
That one looked pretty
Celeste
cool.
is good.
I can say this is like my top 3. Even though I have it as number 8, it is within my top 3. Is Loot River. Loot River looks. It's real. It is definitely a role game. It is a bloody role game. And it's the guy in the game. Well, we don't know if it's a guy or girl because he's wearing a mask and it looks like a long beak. You know what I'm saying? Top down sword swinging, but then you change the platform like you would do things in Tetris. So you're walking on bricks that you can move around in the map to avoid enemies or to get to locations.
I can't remember.
It is on screen right now. Yeah, I can't see that.
Yeah, that joint looks pretty cool. Astria Ascending, definitely.
Yeah, it looks like a new game.
bruh. So the team is the Artisan Studios out of Quebec, but I think that they I don't know if they're actual Square Enix studio. I don't think they are, but so it seems to me as though they've commissioned the composer for Final Fantasy, which is Hitoshi Sakamoto, and the narrative writer Kazashi Mojima. You know who I'm talking about. So he's the writer for Remake and stuff like that. So that's pretty cool. Based on what I've gathered so far, there's 5 cities and their dynamic weather system, and the world is called Arcana. So Orcanon, sorry. So it's still something is coming out to Game Pass, which is pretty cool, unexpected, you know what I'm saying? And we're finally getting some Japanese, some games. Now, it is going to other platforms, of course, but to see it come to Game Pass just gives it some more value. So that's pretty nice. Yeah. Song of Iron. When I first saw Song of Iron, I was like, he's just walking. Why does he have a shield? He's just walking. You know what I'm saying? And then he finally starts fighting. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
The fighting is what did it for me. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like, okay, cool. I get what Dio is saying, and I'm wondering, it's like one of those games like Path of the Samurai. Was it? Way of the Samurai. I might be saying it wrong. It's a 2D game, and basically I think you're like a samurai, and Way of the Path of the Ninja, or Way of the Ninja, one of them, where your sensei is murdered or captured or whatever. So you're forever going to the right hand side, but you can always go back. You know what I'm saying? So it could be one of those type of games. Who knows? But it's on my radar. Los Eidolons.
I remember that one.
I think it's either top down or isometric view. It's people with magic abilities, but you also have a tank, a hunter, a healer, and it's turn-based, kind of like there's square boxes on the floor and you move people to certain places. It looks pretty cool because it looks like it could have been like when the people do the moves, it reminds me of like a ESO or like Blessed Unleash, like some of the moves that they do, but it's kind of like more of a Euro centric area. People will have like kind of like chivalry, but with magic stuff going on, and it's like you move on blocks and stuff. So it's pretty cool. Dark Alliance was also presented.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm definitely
looking forward to that.
Yeah, definitely looking forward to that one. Aerial Knights Never Yield. That one was crazy. I'm trying to figure out what it's gonna be about, but it was a dude that like basically Flash running, and it's made by it has some Japanese words on it, so I can only it could be Japanese, could be Chinese, could be Korean, who knows? I don't know that much. But it's it's from the East, and I welcome it, and definitely interested in playing it. So what it's called, Omno, OMNO.
Yes, I know. Yeah, Omno, I think.
Bro, that one looks real nice. I mean, it's basically showing right now as we speak, by the way. I'm like, is this Zelda-like? Is this, it has different pieces of things that, like different pieces of games that I like, so it's kind of like, yeah, I'm gonna definitely play that game.
Yeah, it looks really cool, man. I can't lie. It was definitely one of those games that visually and kind of stylistically it was very different to everything else I saw.
Yeah. And then the last one is Ascent for me. Yeah, last one is Ascent.
Okay.
Exomecha, I'm gonna leave that to Don. And Wild at Heart didn't grab me at all.
Yeah, no.
What didn't grab you at all?
Wild at Heart. It's the game that's also being seen right now. Actually, it didn't grab me like some other games. But yeah.
Yeah, it looks like Don't Starve to me.
Don't Starve. What kind of
it
game?
looks like Don't Starve.
What kind of game you been playing? Don't Starve.
Oh, that's the name of the game.
I'm just saying.
Okay.
Anything else on the Idea Xbox?
Not for me.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm actually surprised that nobody was interested in Moonglow Bay. Like that was like the opening dev talk, right?
I would have to think about that one. I have to go back and watch. That doesn't ring a bell.
I'm gonna give it a try, but
what was it about?
It was like a fishing RPG.
Oh yeah, yeah. I had to think about that one. I'm not really a fisher. The only time I actually 100% fished in a game was on Final Fantasy 15. So
okay,
yeah, I have to think about that one because I still haven't fished in Dark. I'm sorry, not Dark Souls, and in
ESO.
In ESO is one, Final Fantasy 14, and then Black Desert. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So I'm still trying to get used to some of the things that is outside of fighting. You know what I'm saying? So okay. So in other news, so there's a game. If you've seen Loot River, there's this one game that has that while I was looking at the Xbox, I was just looking at to see if Loot River was available. This game came up, right?
Okay.
And I was like, wait, what is this game? Because it looks like the guy from Loot River in 3D. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, bruh. Bruh. No, now Loot River is top down, is pixel big, pixel type. This joint is completely 3D. And they're taking inspirations from Dark Souls, a little bit from Dark Souls, and there's that one game. You remember me talking to you about it, Dio? That you say you didn't really care for because it kind of dumbed down the actual gameplay. And gosh, so this guy, he's a sinner, right? And so he has to repent for his sins. So he has to fight all these people. Gosh, I forgot what it was. But it has a little Dark Souls-esque to it. You played it before, but you didn't like it, Dio.
Can't remember.
It's like almost like it's third person, but a little closely over the shoulder, so it's closer to the character. And you have like a sword and shield, or you can just go. I think it's just sword and shield. I forgot what it was. I had it in my head and then it left me as I talked about it. But yeah, Themsia, that's the game. Very interesting game. Very interesting game.
Okay.
That's gonna be on Steam, on PC. I think it's gonna be on Xbox because I found it on Xbox. But when I downloaded the video, it said PC. So hey, that's what it is. In weird news, the VP and head of communications or head of community for Kickstarter quits the company.
Yeah.
So what happened was he launched the game and he quickly removed it. Okay. He was making a tabletop RPG game called The Perfect RPG. Okay. And then suspicion arose when a list of contributors were not publicly visible to the other participants in the project. It rose over $6,000 before it was canceled, and then this is weird. The project was canceled and by the creator with a statement redacted to reduce future harassment. So, this is bad, in my opinion, because people like myself who's trying to make a game, and then all of a sudden I'm like, I would like to put this game on Kickstarter. I have my demo game. I have my pitch, of how I want this game to be perceived, right? My elevator pitch, and anybody that pours into the game would have immediate access to the demo, free of charge, you know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. Whatever. I'm not sure how it works, but that's what I would do, And stuff like this happens. And from the company, no less. Kickstarter themselves, the vice president and head of community does this. So
yeah,
it kind of puts a bad taste in your mouth. But I just wanted to put that out there.
Yeah, that's a bit strange.
Yeah. That's like Bill Gates saying, I'm taking all the money out of Microsoft and you guys.
Yeah, see you later, guys.
Oh my gosh. So ID at Xbox. It's very interesting that we see, it's not interesting, but PC gaming has been all about indie devs. And one of the things that came out was that the ID at Xbox pays $2 billion in royalty to the indie devs.
Yeah.
Yes, a lot.
And the process, from what it sounds like, sounds pretty simple,
Well, the process of getting into the ID at Xbox, takes 5 minutes to apply.
Yeah.
Right. So, you got your game ready, or you're in the midst of developing, and you want to go to ID? Definitely, bro. You can't go wrong. A lot of these games going on Game Pass now, so might as well.
Right? Yeah, it's very developer friendly.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy to see something just so kind of easy to get on board with.
Yep. So now there's news that came about. Tencent is making a open world survival game. The name of the game is called Undawn. It is a zombie-esque type.
Okay.
PvP and PvE.
Okay.
The game is closely actually, I can't say closely related. They basically rebranded the game called Dawn Awakening, which was for mobile, to Undawn for PC. So, check it out. It looks, when you go to the website for Undawn, it looks pretty nice, honestly. It looks like a type of game that, what's the name of that zombie game that Microsoft just acquired? The zombie company? and so they just
back for more.
I'm sorry.
Is it back for more? So it's not. So
no, it's They started off with the 360, and then they had a release for the Xbox One, the Part 2, which was on Game Pass. And, yeah, it's that one. it's not a memorable game. It's been so long because they haven't been talking about it as much. But you have
Part 3 is coming out soon.
Yeah, and Part 3 looks real nice, by the way. But you have a team of 4 people. You scavenge the land. You kill zombies, trying to create your camp or in a house or whatever the case may be. So it looks like the game that they're making. It looks like this should have been that game because it looks cool. But looking at Part 3 now, if Part 3 becomes an MMO, bro, a zombie game that's an MMO, yeah. State of Decay, bro. That would kill. I think it would kill Undawn, in my opinion. Do check it out. It's in the description. So when it's an article that you can read. And last but not least, a lot of rumors about Microsoft and Discord.
Mm-hmm.
What do you guys think?
Mm-hmm.
Well, first and foremost, Dio.
Okay.
I remember when I talked to Dio and I was like, "Yo, Dio, let's do Discord." Dio was like, "What's Discord?" And I was like, "It's a platform that we can conversate, and stuff like that." I didn't know how to say it properly. And he's like, "I'll give it a shot." And he goes into Discord. And what was your first impression of Discord?
I mean, I knew what Discord was the first time we talked about it, but
okay, gotcha. My bad.
I mean, I'm an old man, I don't like change. So I was like, why am I gonna get in Discord when we just talk on the Xbox,
Yeah.
But that's just how I am, I mean, I remember back in PC gaming, Vent was the big thing, and then it became Skype, and then it went to Discord and all that stuff. So
yeah,
I'm just slow to change. But I mean, in my opinion, if Microsoft was to get Discord, that gives them a lot of control in the crossplay, market space. Because I mean, a lot of people, especially people on the Switch, since they don't have a great internet service from Nintendo, are using Discord, especially when it comes to crossplay.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be huge. I mean, I think that's way bigger than just buying Evo, right? I mean,
bro. What about you, Don? What do you think?
Yeah, for sure. I think if it comes true, it's a big power play, man. It's gonna hold a lot of influence. You look at how big Discord is, just as a talking platform.
Yeah,
it's huge. Then you also look at the big community aspects of it too.
Yeah.
And if they were able to integrate that into Xbox platforms,
bro,
that's a whole nother conversation.
so let's peep this for a quick sec. Microsoft is interested in Discord. Microsoft was trying to compete with Discord with Microsoft Teams.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
So
and Skype is all right.
Well, Skype is being phased out because Teams is taking over.
See, and that's one of the fears that a lot of Discord people have is that, well, look what happened to Skype when Microsoft bought it. It's phased out, and they're doing better with Microsoft Teams.
Yeah.
But I think in the end of the day, I mean, that's not really Microsoft's fault, right? I mean, that's management. If Skype got that Microsoft money, but then still chose not to evolve, that's their fault. It's the same thing that can happen in Discord. If the Discord management decides to be like, hey, we got this Microsoft money, but we're not going to do the work that we need to do to keep evolving as a brand, then that's their fault. You know what I mean? And it's a lot more incentive to keep evolving when you need to, because you're hungry, you're independent. But once you have, someone else supporting you, that, it just all depends on if they're still going to have that drive or not,
Yeah. Well, I kind of look at it, I understand what you're saying. I look at it the same way, but a little bit differently. I think if Microsoft acquires them, I'm wondering. I think they might take over the whole thing, and this is just my thought process. Not saying that it actually will happen, but if they bought it, I think they would then everything would be underneath the Discord, foundations. Like, okay, how they did this, and then they're gonna implement it everywhere. Because my thing about it is like, okay, deal. I mean, I wish Don was able to experience this, but you remember playing ESO?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, imagine you have a party chat, and there are 20 people in there.
Mm-hmm.
All 20 people are in Cyrodiil. So in your party chat, you're able to segment everybody into different sections.
Yep.
Right? Different channels. Bro. Like, and that's like powered by Discord. Like having different channels for that party chat.
Mm-hmm.
That would be cool. That would be nice. That would be awesome. Where you can have that type of flexibility and manage like groups of people. You have Dio, Don, Alden, and 3-4 guys who are like the leading party members. So you guys are talking, and then you have everybody in the sub chats, just speaking amongst each other, like go here, go there, go here, go there, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, that's like communication on a different level.
Yeah, I can kind of see it happen. Like if Microsoft did buy Discord and integrate those platform, you look at clubs and party chats and messaging. If you kind of threw it all into the one umbrella, made that one thing.
That's gonna be crazy. I mean, I think they'll still keep it open for PC and stuff like that, because that's where the community is.
I think have Discord as its own thing, but also kind of integrate those features.
Now, here's the other thing I see happening too is the integration of GitHub with Discord. Now, why do I say that? Is because GitHub allows you to create websites in it, and a lot of the developers who create the bots and do all this stuff for Discord, they kind of have like their own website. So I can imagine Microsoft saying, hey, developers, we're willing to give you GitHub space, free, create your website, and whenever you create something new, you can basically push it to Discord for review or whatever, and that would be like real nice. That would be pretty cool. So it's just a lot of things. Microsoft has a huge umbrella of technology that can be implemented in so many different ways, so that's pretty cool.
Oh yeah.
Well, guys, that has been the show. Again, this is the Digital Cypha. We're here every Saturday, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Unfortunately, daylight saving times kicked in. The Don CJG. Where can our people find you at?
You can find me basically everywhere as the Don CJG. I've been streaming a bit more on Twitch lately, so be sure to follow there.
So twitch.tv /Don CJG. Dio, how they can get you?
Pretty much the same way, but I'm just not as active as Don or you. I need to get more active on Twitch and everything.
Gotcha. And he's on Twitter, so you can troll this guy. He'll troll back in deep force. So you've been warned. And you can also get me. My tag is Ebonix, EBONIXS. I'm on Twitter, Twitch, YouTube. Alright, so again, this is the Digital Cypha. We are out. See you next week.
Peace.
Peace.